Everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the SoCal Prep Report. Richard Strandlaw, my friend Bob Gibson right here. Randy Rosen will be joining us with the city section report. That's the Los Angeles city section, in case anybody got it misconstrued with like the La Mirada city section, or at least in the Gal city section. It's LA, all right? Okay, Bob, it's a big week coming up. It is the #1 versus #2 in the country, and they both just happen to reside in SoCal. Both happen to be at the top of our top 10 polls, Bob. Both happen to be at the top of the CIF Southern Section polls. And for the most part, both are at the top of the nation's polls. But before we get into all that, let's get into our top 10, Bob. See how everybody did? Take a quick look here.
Absolutely.
And, of course, we're going to see Mater Dei and St. John Bosco, #1, #2 at the top. They both just destroyed their opponents, Bob. Let's not talk about their matchup yet. Let's just talk about what they did this week.
I agree. And don't think the Trinity League or whoever puts the schedules together, don't think they didn't have this in mind. The week before the big matchup was going to be Santa Margarita and Orange Lutheran, the two worst teams in the league.
It's like a bye week for both
Right,
of these
it's almost
schools.
what it was. I mean, let's face it, right?
All due respect.
We knew going in, no, because Olu's got a pretty good team. Santa Margarita's got some work to do to get back. But look, we knew those were the two teams that were going to be at the bottom of the Trinity League this year. And that's the two teams that Mater Dei and Bosco got to face before they get it. So it was like a little tune-up for them before they get into the big game this week. But no problem on either side. Bosco actually lays a bigger number on Olu than Mater Dei did on Santa Margarita.
The numbers don't matter. I think what these guys were doing, getting some of their understudies, some time, get your second and third teamers in there.
45-0 and 63-6.
That's what I would do. I would sit everybody out after halftime with a lead like that. I wouldn't even chance that my starting offensive lineman on either side of the ball gets hurt, or anybody for that matter, because this game with Bosco is a big one. Now, we're going to talk about the game a little bit. Let's continue the top 10. It was Corona Centennial defeating another top 10 stablemate in Norco. Norco got defeated there. There you see the score right there. It was 61-23. Corona Centennial just dominating that Big 8 conference out in the Empire.
Which, as they've done year after year after year in the Matt Logan era, and it's a big milestone for Matt Logan. Win number
might be win number 1,000, Bob.
It was a milestone. Forgive me, I forgot the number and I saw it. And congratulations to Coach Logan on the big milestone win. But no surprise there.
No,
and my only question is, how good is Centennial? People keep telling me they've improved along the way. Don't forget, Mater Dei handed them their lunch week 1, and that was going to be their best shot to get Mater Dei. So I just don't know how good Centennial is.
Bob,
if they even have a chance to compete in this division.
Well, they might have improved. They might have improved.
And they might have.
Don't forget, Bosco
but they didn't
look snot out of Mater Dei the first meeting last year, but in the finals, they got beat.
Different situation, but you're right. But Centennial did not look good. I mean, it's not like Centennial played
Mater
a good game.
Dei didn't look good against Bosco last year in the first game, Bob.
Centennial looked like every other team that Mater Dei's beat this year. That's a problem for Centennial. They need to look better. So for me, the jury's still out on Centennial, how good they are.
All right.
I still got questions.
Fair enough. I was just trying to get them asked that. I'm sure everybody out there wants to ask the same things I was yelling at you about right now. Okay.
They might be better. I'm waiting to see if they are.
Mission Viejo had a real tough game this week. They practiced against each other. That's about their toughest opponent.
BYE.
Going head-to-head against each other. They had a big bye this week. As you see there, they did not have a game. Right. Grace Brethren moved up in our poll to number 5, defeating Thousand Oaks 42-0. Yeah, they moved up, Bob, because Jay Sever lost. They didn't just lose. They lost big, and it wasn't even it's actually a decent team in Surbat by Trinity League standards. They're right in the middle of the pack.
So Grace Brethren, who's not even the top-ranked team in their division, according to the CIF Southern Section voters, not even the #1 team in their division.
Bob, everybody's got to start somewhere, man.
But they're number 5
It's not an overnight
in our
sensation.
top 10.
These guys have been working on this now for the past 4 or 5 years. Bob, they are here now. Why you got to rain on their parade, man?
It's a crash course. Corona Del Mar, Grace Brethren, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to see who the real
Even Randy Rosenblum's laughing at you.
Randy can laugh all he wants.
He doesn't care about the Southern
Corona
section.
Del Mar's coming, man. They're going to put a beat down in Newport Harbor this week. I guarantee you that.
Oh, man.
And that's their crosstown rival. It's coming.
Oh, man. I hope you're not the kiss of death this week.
We'll
That's
find
all
out.
I'm saying.
We'll
All right,
find
continue on. Let's look at this. Let's look at the top 10 and get through this thing so we can get busy. All right, finishing off, we have Narbonne. 58-6. Bob, I don't know what's going to happen with Narbonne coming up. I don't know, so I'm not going to speculate. Randy thinks they're the number one team in the country still. He's going to get his chance to have his say.
Little breaking news on Narbonne, so stick around. Some breaking news that favors Narbonne, actually.
Really?
So
You got something that favors Narbonne?
That actually is. It's actually good news for Narbonne this week.
In the 7th position this week, it was Servite playing in the 3rd place game. Now remember, 3rd place ain't a bad place to finish in a Trinity League, because that means you're probably going to get a pretty good seed in this thing somewhere, because you've already played the best. The nation's 2 best teams are in the same league. So anyways, Servite over J. Serra 34-21. They moved up to 7. J. Serra now number 8 from number 5. They lost to Servite 34-21. Same score, Bob.
I know,
Notice
right?
that?
So that was an interesting game, and
Yeah,
Servite
certainly
really put it to them. Here's the interesting question. Does J. Serra's loss move them out of that Division I bracket, right? Does that move them out of the top 8 teams? I don't know if it does.
They're not going to get
I don't know if it does, but they would love to move down to D2. I guarantee you that, because I think J. Serra would run wild
think so?
in D2. Oh, they'd win. I think they'd win a D2 championship pretty easily. If they got down there. I don't think they're getting moved down, but if they did, it'd be good news for Pat Harlow and the Lions.
Interesting observation, Bob. I like that.
We'll see how it shakes out, because there's going to be a couple of really good teams that don't get in that D1 bracket, and I think they're going to be glad they didn't.
All right, we got Bishop Amat now moving up to the number 9 position. Bishop Amat defeated Serra 20-13. You know, Serra's lost 4 games already. They ain't got no wins in the league. They're going to finish in last place in their division. They played a great preseason schedule, but it turned out those teams they beat that are traditionally good are not that good this year, Bob, obviously.
And Bishop Amat is absolutely rolling right now to a league championship.
Yeah, they are.
And I tell you, that's a team. They ain't a little dangerous now in that D1 bracket. We'll see. You know, they may have to get a Mater Dei or a Bosco in round 1 of the playoffs, but that could be a dangerous team, Amat. They're
Don't
looking
start booking
really
your
good.
playoff tickets yet, Bob.
I
Amat's
know,
still got a
but
way to go. They got a big
I
game
got
this
it.
week. We're going to talk
Got
about
to
that in
face
just
Notre Dame this
a couple
week.
of minutes.
We'll get there.
All right, and in the 10th position this week, Norco, who lost to Centennial. The reason they don't drop out of the top 10 with this loss is because everybody but Mater Dei and Bosco would lose to Centennial. What else do you want me to say?
I don't know.
What do you want me to say, Bob? Coronel Del Mar's going to beat Centennial?
Yes,
Really?
I want Coronel Del Mar in the top 10
Maybe
at
Grace
some
Brethren.
point this
Maybe Grace
season.
Brethren have a shot at it.
Come on.
I don't
what
know,
do the Sea
Bob.
Kings have to do?
They're done. They have to keep winning. That's
All
all there
right.
is to it. Tell the principals at that school they want to be moved up to the Trinity League.
it-
South Coast.
I
Prove
think
it.
I think the voters here on our show are not going to put him there until they beat Grace Brethren in that CIF
Bob, they're
championship.
number 1 in the No Love Club. What do you want, man? Got your wish. No Love Club, take a look.
All
Coronel Del Mar's Bob's favorite team. They are number 1 this week once again. As
they
you're
are
having a look
good.
there, they're followed by Cypress, who defeated Crean Lutheran 41-14, who's followed them in the 3 position by Culver City, defeating El Segundo 42-9 with Scatella over Savannah 49-7. Western continues to roll on, Bob. You think they'd have a drop-off after losing their big gun at quarterback last year? Their nation-leading passer over 5,020 yards.
Right.
But they haven't skipped a beat, have lost 1 game all season.
looked good.
They best Ocean View 31-0. Paramount over Warren. This is a San Gabriel Valley League probably decider, since they're both undefeated in league. Paramount now takes the new league.
Paramount looks really good.
And they're tough. Foothill still undefeated, defeating El Dorado 20-3. One thing about Foothill, guys, these guys could probably play with just about anybody because their defense is so staunch. I have not seen a lower-level team in the CIF Southern section play defense as well as Foothill's playing right now. They stop people. They don't let anybody score. They're stingy with that football.
They've had Doug Case over there for years as the head coach, and Foothill's always in the mix. And they don't always, come out with 9-10 win seasons. They're going to have one this year, it looks like, but they're always in the mix. And a lot of talent. All that talent that used to go to Tussenheim, play for Myron Miller, come back the Foothill way now in that area. So good to see Foothill back in there, and they've stayed pretty consistent over the years.
Good history lesson there, Bob. It was Glendora. As we continue on to number 8, over Claremont, 49-7, and they are followed by the big game. Sunny Hills gets to stay in the Low Love Club simply because they lost to La Habra. La Habra's got, 12 CIF championships.
Yeah,
Frank Mazzotta's still there. They own that freeway league, even though there's no freeway nearby there. But they own that league, Bob. I don't know why they call that stupid league. There's not a freeway
That is so
20
true.
miles at any of those schools, man. I tell you.
That's true. You get off the freeway and you drive a long way to get to Sunny.
You do.
and La Habra.
You might run out of gas getting out the freeway, getting into that place,
That's
man.
it. I give up, man. What's with these guys?
I don't know, Bob.
I
I
got
don't
to
know
walk
what to
off the
tell you.
show, man.
I
You're
don't know what
right.
to tell you.
Call it the freeway league. For what reason?
I don't know.
That's the best observation on the show this season.
Thank you very much, Bobby. All right, take a look at our last entry this week. Nobody knew. Alhambra stays number 10. Sunny Hills did not go below them, and let's see, Glendora did not either. Alhambra still won 33-6 over San Gabriel. Alhambra's kind of a sleeper. I mean, it's tough to get them. We're putting them in there to give them the attention. They are undefeated in the league, but I still think that the bottom feeders of the No Love Clubbers, probably a few other teams in other leagues that could probably take them down, Bob. Take them out.
Well, we'll see. I mean, if you can get on a roll and win a CIF championship, then you've earned your place in the No Love Club. So we'll see. At this point now, we're kind of guessing the teams that are going to maybe be in the mix in the playoffs. I think Alhambra's going to be one of those teams.
All right, before we go to Carlos Peña, let's take a look at the matchups this week, Bob, because we got some good ones here, man. All right,
it's a good week.
And let's have a look. Let's pull them up and let's see what we got here. All right, first of all, Bob, we're going to talk about San Clemente, 3-0 in league against the number 4 team in our bracket, Mission Viejo. What I mean by that is our top 10. Mission Viejo, the number 4 team. They had a bye week last week. They're 2-0 in league. San Clemente played last week. Bob, San Clemente's been trying to get past these guys for a while. I don't know if this is the year they're going to do it, although their record would indicate they're pretty good.
And they finally did it, a year ago. But I tell you, I don't know. It looks like a trap game for Mission Viejo, but I don't really think it is.
Nope.
In the end, I think Mission Viejo gets over on San Clemente here.
Man, Bob, you don't have to say that. You could just say, like, San Clemente's pretty good, but Mission Viejo's pretty good, too. We'll see what happens because you just destroyed San Clemente right now.
San Clemente's pretty good, so is Mission Viejo. We'll see what happens.
There you go, Bobby. That's how you don't jinx anybody because you're getting a lot of hate mail about this stuff, all right?
All
right, the next game, let's take a look. St. Anthony and St. Paul, battle of the parochial schools. Both these schools are tiny. These are 2 teams picking a fight with a guy the same size, same weight. It's great. But St. Paul 6-2, St. Anthony 5-4. St. Anthony was a state entrant a few years back.
They were.
St. Paul, former national champs back in the 60s, 70s. They're always in the hunt for a CIF title here and there. This is a pretty good game, Bob. Winner probably takes all in the Del Rey.
Look, St. Anthony's that little school that could.
St. Paul's tiny,
I don't know if
man.
they could. Yeah, I know, but St. Paul's a little bigger than St. Anthony, right?
No, St. Anthony's a much older school in Long Beach, much older.
Bigger.
St. Paul's probably got about, I bet you they got 300 kids in that school at St. Paul. I'll put money on that.
All right, flip a coin.
Somebody look that up.
Flip a coin.
Randy, you're not doing nothing. Look up. What's St. Paul's population? Look up St. Anthony. Let's see who's got a bigger population.
St. Anthony's a good team, so is St. Paul. We'll see what happens.
We'll come back to that. All right, let's continue on. Notre Dame, Bishop Amat. Notre Dame 2-1, Amat 3-0. We talked about this, Amat number 9 in our rankings. Listen, Notre Dame came out like wildfire. They were winning games left and right. I think they got up to 5-0. They're 1-2 in their last 3 games. Amat 7-1, Bob. If Amat should lose this game, Notre Dame and they would be tied for the top position in the Mission Conference, on Mission League. But Notre Dame still got to play another game, as does Amat. So as long as they both keep winning, it would be Notre Dame taking the title. But should Notre Dame lose that last game, I believe they play Almany. There's trouble there.
Look,
I could be wrong with that game, by the way.
This league has been so much fun all season long.
This
has been the league to keep an eye on. The Trinities, of course, we got the top 2 and whatever, and Servite's been good. But come on, this league has really been the one to keep an eye on. I love this matchup. I think this is a complete flip of the coin here. If you told me either team won this game by a touchdown, it would not surprise me at all. I'm tempted to want to take Notre Dame, but
remember, Bob, the code, bro.
Notre Dame's good, Amat's good. We'll see what happens.
All right, thank you very much, Bobby. That's how you handle that situation right there.
Earning my paycheck this week.
Gets rid of all that hate mail, man. We get a lot of it, all right? We love that stuff, by the way. Keep it coming.
Keep it rolling.
That's how we stay employed here. All right, continuing on. Let's take a look. Well, before we get to the modern again, we had St. Paul has about 700 population. St. Anthony's got about 5.25, Bob, 550 right in there.
I told you
St. Anthony's a lot older school. Well,
that's true.
That enrollment's up because St. Paul was having a problem. They were going to close that school, Bob. They were down to 250, 300 kids enrollment.
I've never seen a worse football field than the one at St. Anthony. It may change
now.
now. This is years ago. This is years ago.
No. I remember when Abraham Lincoln used to bring his team there from Illinois down to play Washington's team out there.
I'll never forget the lighting on that field was as bad as I've seen anywhere. This is years ago. Maybe it's better now, but
very old stadium.
Got to fix that lighting there.
Does it even qualify as a stadium, Bob? It's just a field. It's a field. It's Clark Field. They call it a field. It's not a stadium. We don't want to
Good enough.
Be rude. All right, Bosco Mater Day. Big game this week. Nation's number 1, Nation's number 2. They both reside here in L.A. County, one in Orange County. Big ball game. This is the 3rd time in 3 successive years that these 2 teams will more than likely play for the national championship and a CIF championship. That's just a little sidebar there, Bob. We talk about the national championship and the state title. So, Mater Dei, they've won 4 of the last 6 ball games. Each time, if Mater Dei wins the regular season game, they lose the championship game. If they win the regular season game, or lose the regular season game, they win the championship game, and vice versa. It's been going that way. This will be kind of like be the tiebreaker in a way, Bob. Well, even though Mater Dei's won the last 2.
We're not even talking about this being for the Trinity League title, which of course it is too. So there's a league championship on the line. Right, all the placings to play for the CIF championship eventually, because we think these are the two teams that'll play again.
Since 2015, it's been Mater Dei Bosco. That's what we're trying to say. It's been back and forth.
This is what it's been.
And Centennial broke up the party in 2015 and just beat them both.
Now, Bosco gets the home game this year. Bosco, it's a true home game for Bosco, right?
Yeah, they got that nice place. Yes, sir.
They got that nice new field, a true home game for Bosco. They would love nothing better than to return the favor and do what they did a year ago and beat Mater Dei in the regular season.
And then see what happens in the finals, man.
I don't know.
That's the one you want to win. Doesn't matter who wins the regular season matchup, Bob.
No, this is truly where I say, Amat's a good team, Mater Dei's a good team. We'll see what happens, because this really is. I mean, this is the matchup.
Why are you dragging Amat in here? You mean Bosco's a good
Bosco.
team? Yeah, I'm just saying.
I got Amat on the
how's
brain
that
still.
correlate?
Bosco's a good team,
It's
Mater
tough
Dei's a
up
good
here.
team.
It's hot in the studio
we'll
tonight, and we're tired.
Losing my mind. Anyway, this is the matchup of matchups, and it's so good. How much are tickets going for on the secondary market?
Secondary market right now, the cheapest tickets we could find is $200. This game is sold out already. Eddie West Field holds what? Is it Cerritos or Eddie West?
It's
at Bosco.
No, it's at Bosco. Yeah,
so it's a lot smaller stadium. They should play this game at Cerritos because they'd probably sell it out. There's 12,005. Bosco probably holds about maybe 5,000 now, maybe.
Yeah.
So
probably.
But $200 for a ticket to see this puppy. Go get scalped.
It's sold out. By all means. I think it's sold out in 45 minutes.
I'll tell you mine for $175. Not my ticket, not my credential.
I'm not even going out to this game. I'm going to sit home and enjoy my pretzels and my cold beverage.
Watch it on TV.
Watch it on TV.
Bob's talking Kool-Aid too, man. He's not kidding. All right, Bob. That's all we got to say about that ball game. It's going to be good.
Enough.
Like it tastes,
it'll figure itself out.
They'll beat each other in the regular season, and then they lose in the finals, and vice versa. This is what goes on with this, man. I know it's clear as mud now for all you. All right, let's go to Carlos Peña. We come back with Randy Rosenblum.
Hey guys, thanks for that introduction. Folks, welcome to SoCal Prep Report. I'm Carlos Peña, and tonight I'm bringing you high desert football. Silverado taking on Granite Hills. Let's go check out the action. Silverado 2-0 in league play is looking to take one away from Granite Hills tonight. The Hawks looking to set the pace and control the game from the get-go. Silverado elected to keep the ball on the ground, hoping to capitalize on the bounce. Granite Hills takes over and takes advantage with this run by Angela Guy. Granite Hills is up 7-0. Not to be outdone, the Hawks quarterback Jesse Murillo runs out of room, but not options, and delivers the ball to Jay Sean Wright, who turned on the speed for the score. Game tied 7-7 with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. Granite Hills quarterback Tyler Karen rolls out but turns over the ball to the Hawks. On the very next play, Silverado returns a favor, fumble, Granite Hills ball. The Hawks would take the lead with seconds left in the first half, 21-14. Silverado will go on to win the game 49-27, taking a 3-0 record further into league play. Turning our attention to league play, and we have Silverado up top 3-0, followed closely by the very dangerous Adelanto Saints. Granite Hills, Barstow, and Victor Valley bring up the rear. Next up, Cross Valley League with Silver Valley up to their old tricks, followed by Slumbering Big Bear, Riverside Prep, and Excelsior. Moving on to our bigger schools, the Mojave River League. Newly crowned top desert dogs Serrano on top 3-0. Now they're 8-0 overall with a big win over Apple Valley, putting them on top and giving them the crown for the desert. Oak Hills 3-0, followed by Apple Valley 2-1, Hesperia, Sultana, and Burroughs. And finally, the Golden League. Palmdale in the top spot 5-0, followed very closely by Courts Hill, who's also 5-0, Highland, Knight, Antelope Valley, Little Rock, Lancaster, and Eastside. And folks, that's it from the high desert. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Carlos. Appreciate the high desert action, right, Bob?
That's right. We always love those reports from the high desert. Good football being played out there.
All right, let's take a look at the national picture real quick. Let's just run through it. We see number 1 and number 2, like we always say, looks like our 1 and 2, Mater Dei Bosco at the top, followed by St. Louis of Hawaii. They have a bye this week. They're going to play the number 2 team on the islands next week. St. Thomas Aquinas defeated Deerfield 28-7. St. Francis Academy 35-7 over IMG Academy.
Interesting.
You got a football school. That's all these guys do is play football. They don't do anything else, and they lost. All right? Amazing. Duncanville, Texas, whatever. Lakeland, Florida beat Bloomingdale 36-0. Concord de la Salle defeated San Ramon 52-0. A lot of shutouts, Bob.
Same story there.
We got Lowndes of Georgia. They are now in the top 10. They beat some homies. That's what it says right there. And, of course, Bishop Gorman defeated Durango 71-0. Wow. Gorman's only lost one game. They played 3 top 20 teams in the country. They deserve to be in the top 10. All right. Welcome back. And now we're going to check on the City 6 in action with our pal, Randy Rosenblum. Randy, what's going on this week?
Well, I want to congratulate Rick Prezant. Rick is the athletic director at Birmingham High School, 36 years there. They named Birmingham Stadium Rick Prezant Stadium Friday in the win over Chatsworth. 36 years, 55 upper division city titles. Congratulations to a good guy, Rick Prezant.
Wow, not bad, huh, Bob?
Nice little party in Lake Balboa there.
Oh, yeah, big. And the
football
football team celebrated with a big win. All right, let's talk about the city top 10. We start with Narbonne. You're going to see their record has starred a little bit. They're 8-0. Their one loss on the field was to Lone Peak in Moore Park on a neutral field.
But breaking news.
Breaking news, Lone Peak. Ineligible players, they forfeit all their games. Narbonne now improves to 8-0.
They couldn't do anything to Lone Peak. They haven't won any games this year.
Lone Peak cheated to beat them.
So is Lone Peak winless now?
Well,
winless.
That's
Lone
why
Peak
I said
is
that.
winless.
They haven't won any games because they got a point.
Lone Peak of Utah is winless.
I've got the joke.
You know, it's funny. You know, it's
Late
funny.
to the party,
Finally,
but I
You
got
mentioned
there.
the score before. You know, Narbonne beat Gardena 58-6, and I was almost disappointed that they only won by 52 points. You know, they just cruised through the Marine League. San Fernando, 70-0 over Van Nuys in their victory. 56-0 at the half in that one. Garfield wins again. The Bulldogs.
Wait a minute, Garfield moved up?
68-0 over Southeast. I moved them up because you're going to see why in a moment. They'll host Southgate this week. Another easy win apparently for the Bulldogs. I dropped San Pedro to 4th because they went to Sierra Canyon and got beat 40-7. It was 7-7.
San Pedro has no offense. I don't know why they're in your top 10, Randy. They've scored 7 points in the last 2-3 weeks.
Well, they still got a good record. You know, they're at 6-2, and I think they're a very good football team.
All right.
And they'll be highly regarded in the Open Division. Banning wins the most dramatic game of the weekend,
Carson
either
had
on the southern section or the city.
Had it.
Carson did have it, but time was about to expire. A 43-yard touchdown pass got him within 1. Jake Otto was able to make the conversion, the 2-point conversion, and Banning steals the game 36-35. Great win.
Your boy
there.
Jake Otto, Bob.
Right?
Yeah, Bob always talks about Jake Otto. He does.
Palisades continues to win. In fact, they won 2 games last week. They beat Venice on the Monday. They come back on Friday and shut out University 31-0. Crenshaw, you see their record starred.
Yeah, what's up with
Upland
that?
used an ineligible player earlier.
No.
Upland had handled the Cougars, so the Cougars get their record to 5-2. They're just
But
cruising
you know what?
through the
Time
Coliseum
out,
League.
man.
They're 3-0.
They should have given Upland a pass on that because they got a new coach there, right? They had Salter there for 150 years.
Yeah.
It takes time for the change of the guard, Randy. Come on. That's not right. I'm just saying.
I'm giving Crenshaw the victory.
All right. Well,
Ineligible
you're right.
player
Yeah, I'll
is
give
an
it to him.
ineligible player. There's Birmingham. I got him up to number 8. They have not allowed a point of the West Valley League. 2-0, 2 shutouts. This latest 62-0 over Chatsworth. Jackson Dadich, the quarterback, throws for 4 touchdowns. He's got a wonderful wide receiver. And Arliss Boardingham, one of the top sophomores in Southern California. Reseda back in my top 10 at number 9. The Regents are very strong. They beat Panorama 41-0. They'll have an easy one this week. They'll go to Van Nuys and they'll lay it on the Wolves. I have Eagle Rock number 10. They had a great win over Franklin, 45-28. They forced 5 turnovers. Axel Ayers, their quarterback, can run and throw. He ran for 2 touchdowns, and he threw for 2 more. Good win for Eagle Rock. That's
Eagle
a good
Rock's
football
cooled
team.
off a little bit, Bob, because they were on fire a while ago.
Well, I wanted to ask Randy, I understand why Venice is out of your top 10, but why? Why is Venice really dropped off this year? Because I thought I liked Venice coming into this year, right?
Just
So
because
did
you
I.
like them doesn't mean they go in the top
but
10,
that
Bob.
should have been a very good team. That should be easily a top 10 team at this
And in
point.
truth, Bob, I had Venice tied for 10th.
Okay.
We put Eagle Rock up there, but Venice had a big win this past weekend, so they're looking pretty good. All right, I got some key games I want to talk to you about.
Let's do it.
It starts with the rivalry game. Dorsey and Crenshaw.
Is that still a rivalry?
Well, they met twice last year, and Dorsey won both games. They beat him in the playoffs. Crenshaw's the heavy favorite this time. Dorsey is way down. The Shaw in the Coliseum League should put him away easily. Westchester and Venice, and again, Venice is playing a little bit better football. They're up to 4-4. That's going to be a good game, Westchester at Venice. I do expect Luca Diamond and the Gondoliers to continue to score and win that game. And the other game, the other rivalry game, is in the Valley Mission League. That is San Fernando on the road at Sylmar. They usually get 5,000 people for this game. San Fernando will win big. But this is a big rivalry game in the San Fernando Valley, but I had to put it up to the Tigers will win the game easily. But this is the season for Sylmar if they can somehow make it close. Girls volleyball, I do want to talk about the girls volleyball as well. A great win for the Cleveland program in the West Valley. They snap a 25-match losing streak to Granada Hills. They won it 3-0. They hadn't beaten Granada Hills since 2007. 25 straight matches they had lost, but the Cavaliers get the victory. And Eagle Rock beats Palisades for the second time this year, 3-2. They came from 2 sets down to win it. Eagle Rock and Taft are two of the powers in the LA City section. Granada Hills and Palisades in years gone by have been the power, but we have a little bit of a changing of the guard there. I think Eagle Rock's got a shot in the tournament, but Taft will be the favorite in girls volleyball.
Yeah, I'll be talking a little Southern Section girls volleyball. Now the playoffs are upon us, the brackets are out, so
That's right.
we'll be talking about that in the next couple of weeks as well.
We'll be coming out to a volleyball game near you soon, right?
Narbonne, undefeated, guys. What do you think of that?
Well, all right, listen. I'm going to talk about the idiot of the week, and there seems to be a lot of you guys out there. I mean, there's so much fodder. We should just stop doing this show and just report on all the clowns out there. All right, so we talk about guys snitching on their own teams because they don't get jobs, and we talk about all this other stuff, right? Well, you know what, Bob? I'm going to let you tell the story about what happened in Illinois and Chicago.
St. Louis, I think, is where this happened.
Same thing.
Right? Yeah, right.
It's all up
It's
there
all
in the
somewhere
upper
in the
Midwest somewhere.
Apparently, there was a kid that played a game a year ago, and he was kicked out of the game. So he should have been suspended week 1 this year.
They're tough out there.
That was a
Right?
championship game he got
It was a
kicked out of.
championship game, right. So what happened was they decided, well, we really don't want this kid to sit out because he's our best player. So what they did is he went from number 4 to like number 24.
Right.
And then they gave him a whole new identity. They gave him the name of some freshman kid, and they said, oh, there he is. And he ran for 230 yards or whatever and 4 touchdowns. And they acted like nothing ever happened, right? And then they said, well, he sat out the week, so he's coming back week 2, and everything's hunky-dory, right? Well, turns out, no. Somebody caught on to this. Has something to do with the tattoos on the kid's
you know
arm
they
or
caught
something.
on? No.
Yeah, they caught him because of the
right.
No,
tattoo.
the kid, he wore 33 again the next
Anyway.
week, you know? You forgot to change the number on the kid.
The program's gone the SMU route now. They've been blacklisted the rest of the year. The coaching staff, every one of them, fired out on the street.
And Bob,
the kids aren't going to play any more games this year.
This is how it goes. I'm Mrs. Reporter. Hey, Coach, what happened?
Yeah, right. Some mistakes were made. That's what the coach. So they had an interview with him, right? Some St. Louis station had an interview with him out there, and the coach kept saying, "Well, some mistakes were made." Well,
Yeah,
apparently
Coach.
so. Apparently so.
A couple of mistakes were made on that one. But I got to love it. We'll give the guy, I think it was Justin Hager turned him in, right? The guy from Mountain Point.
Oh, no.
He alerted the other
I thought we were
team.
done with that
And,
story.
that dude's a crusader now. He's writing everybody up.
Sure.
All right, that's all we have for today. I wish we had more time. We have a lot more to give you, but we can't do it. On behalf of Randy Rosenblum, Bob Gibson, I'm Rich Estrella, saying so long to your friends here at the SoCal Prep Report.
Andy's clock says 0 now. Good night.
Good night, everybody.